see, guys, I'm warming up for today. I'm warming up today. Yeah, it's later today. So what? Who cares? Had some things I had to do earlier. Doesn't matter. I made a small little review. They're always less than a minute. I do it on the short videos because I saw a movie last night. I actually got a text on Reddit on my own page. It says, how did you see the movie? Was that out next week? Well, you can see I got a special invite. I got a special invite. So I got to see it yesterday. I told you guys the trick is buy a stock when it was down to $1. I bought a stock. So they call it investor screening, whatever. So I went and saw it, and thumbs up all the way up. The horror, the paranormal, the Sightings and landfill is all in this movie. So I haven't saw the rest of the summer movies, but as of now, the two best summer movies are Maverick and, in my opinion, The Black Phone that comes out next Friday. It's worth it. The Paranormal Ghost, it's worth it. It's worth it. The only thing I was waiting for is McConaughey to jump out of the movie and say, all right. I get older, they stay the same age. If you watch the beginning of the movie, you'll see what I'm talking about. Cryptids, paranormal, UFOs. We got Bigfoot and on. You guys know what? Hold on for a second. I didn't have a weird news story for today. I have a lot of other videos, but just like an hour ago, somebody on Instagram has this crazy video. Like, holy shit, wow. Going to show that today on the weird news. You're going to have to hold on. I don't know who sent it to me. Not going to say. I don't know if Connor has seen it. I don't know. Maybe he was part of it. I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to go right into cryptids because today we are talking about the Lizardman. I got like 3 videos on the Lizardman. So if you're ready for some Lizardman action, get ready because it's coming. Since I said I got 3 Lizardman videos, I want to make sure these are subscription people. These aren't just sunglasses. These are actually subscription glasses. All right. The first one is Lizardman warning. South Carolina issues official advisory regarding the Lizardman sighting. And I'll show some videos. And I know Connor knows. I bet you Connor knows something about the Lizardman. I bet he does. You guys might not think so, but I think he does. But we'll check this video out. I actually got 3 videos on the Lizardman. I thought I'd show a variety, but let's get right into it.
Carolina issues advisory regarding lizardmen. Another day, another wacky alert sent out by officials in South Carolina, this time warning locals about the incidence of lizardmen, or lizard people, in advance of the upcoming solar eclipse. The legend of the walking reptilian was born back in 1988, when 17-year-old Christopher Davis had just finished changing a flat tire near Skateboard Swamp in Bishopville, South Carolina. He reported seeing a red-eyed devil about 30 yards away. As the story goes, Davis got in his car and sped off, but he claimed the creature managed to chase him down and jump on the hood of his car before he was able to shake him. Davis drew this sketch of the beast following the encounter. Lizardman.
For a second, when I saw the sketch, it kind of reminds me of The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Kind of yes. Sketch, but hey, regardless, The Grinch Stole Christmas looks like the Lizardman. I can see it, I get it. But when I saw that sketch, I'm like, isn't that the Grinch? But here, let's hear the rest of it.
And sightings have since become a regular enough occurrence in the area. The latest reported in 2015, when local man Jim Wilson claimed he saw something come out of the woods and run across the skateboard bridge. He described it as a tall, dark figure that had a tail and appeared to have scales, almost like an alligator with a short nose and long legs. With the total solar eclipse set to occur on August 21st, the South Carolina Emergency Management Division tweeted out this graphic, stating it does not know if lizardmen become more active under a solar eclipse, but residents of Lee and Sumter counties should remain ever vigilant. As we reported last week, police in Greenville, South Carolina also warned the public not to shoot at any figures resembling Bigfoot. NASA has also released a graphic entitled Sunsquatch, detailing the best spots to catch the eclipse and Bigfoot at the same time. Who knows if the solar eclipse will indeed draw these elusive mythical beings out of the woods, but it sure is bringing out the best in a few government agencies.
So I do got 2 other videos on the lizard man. So now in that video, it says the lizard man first came about around 1988. Is that true, Connor? Or has the lizard man been there longer before 1988?
Of course, yeah. The lizard man goes back to the beginning of time, but Scape or Swamp in the Carolinas, that story did start in the 80s, or at least that famous story. But I'm sure the early settlers were dealing with, the lizard people, the reptilians, or just all these other amphibious biped creatures that come from the swamp. But man, it definitely correlates with the reptilians, the people that are trying to take over our government, our world. But it starts to think, are they, coming from extraterrestrials, or are they just bred right from the swamp? And that's where I think the division and getting into it will illuminate something for us.
Okay. And the second video here is just called The Lizard Man. And then the third video, actually, somebody's got a footprint, apparently, of the Lizard Man. But let's check out the second video first.
The Lizard Man is a reptilian humanoid cryptid first sighted in Lee County, South Carolina. He is said to be 7 feet tall with a bulky body along with dark hair and scaly skin. The first reported sighting can be dated to June 29, 1988. A 17-year-old Christopher Davis was driving home around 2 a.m. when he had to pull over to the side of the road to change a tire. After changing the tire, Davis heard a stomping noise and turned to investigate it. What he saw sent a wave of fear over him. He saw what he described as a lizard-like man with glowing red eyes sprinting towards him. Davis jumped into his car and sped away. His frightful encounter was not over yet, though. He claims the lizard man jumped to the roof of his car, leaving him no choice but to swerve to get the creature off. When Davis got home, he found his side view mirror extremely damaged and claw marks on the roof of his car. Various other car maulings have been reported, such as this case from Leon and Ada Marshall in Bishopville, South Carolina. Upon arriving, Deputy Fletcher Williams inspected the car and concluded it had been mauled by a strong creature with teeth. This theory was furthered due to the finding of saliva across the front of the vehicle. The last piece of evidence found here was the few pieces of long white and brown hairs in the front fender. The next major encounter occurred in 2015 when a woman by the name of Sarah claimed she snapped this photo of the lizard man from her church's steps. Shortly after sharing this photo, a hunter who remained anonymous released this.
I'd like to know from you guys in the chat, I want to be honest here, does that look real? I don't know. I look at that picture and it looks like a clay. I mean, just being honest here, it looks like clay, red eyes, and they put it on the ground and took a picture of it. That picture to me doesn't look real. Not saying it's not real, but it looks more clay.
I agree. I think it looks clay. I think it looks like a figurine, but it's blown up. But I have seen stranger pictures that are authentic, and I kind of know the backstory to this, that they are, trying to show it off as a real picture. And hey, wouldn't that be something if it was? And that's how clear it is. There's no blur at all.
Eddie says real. Okay. Like I said, guys, this is up to you. We got to be honest here. This is a show about being honest. We'll finish this video. And the third one, like I said, actually somebody's supposed to have a footprint of the lizard
video
man.
Of a black figure moving throughout the woods.
Definitely movement.
Yeah.
Could this be the lizard man? No major sightings have been reported since these two in 2015. So what do you guys think? Is the lizard man of Lee County out there, or is he just a myth? Leave a like and comment what you think below, and don't forget to subscribe.
And what I like about this last video is it's also about a town that celebrates the lizard man in a lot of different ways. And you guys know I love museums and I love footages of towns embracing the folklore story, real or not. They embracing it, they love it, and they make it part of the community. So this is cool in so many different ways, my opinion.
As you drive into Bishopville in Lee County, you literally see signs of Lizardman. And if you keep
I
going
love
into
that.
town and the South
Me too.
Carolina Cotton Museum, you'll see the only actual signs of Lizardman. Plaster casts of the Lizardman tracks found in 1988, the first time he was spotted.
The footprints were found in Scape Swamp. So as the sheriff was doing his job, and he went ahead and cast them, and those are the castings.
They're surrounded
Amazing.
by butterbeans because Lizardman was spotted near a butterbean shed. That 1988 incident led to t-shirts, hats, and signs. There have been new sightings over the last few weeks.
In one of the recent sightings, Jim Wilson was driving on Highway 34 toward Camden when he says he saw something run out into the road, run across the bridge over Scape Swamp, and then go down into the swamp and disappear.
Cox says there are stories about the Indians in this area being visited by people with tails. And in March, the discovery in North Carolina of this dinosaur that walked on its hind legs, was about 9 feet tall, and looked like the Lizardman. There have also been recent sightings of Bigfoot, including in North Carolina. There are people who devote a lot of time to looking for Bigfoot, or at least evidence he's real. Cox has his own theory about why some people believe in both.
We all like to be scared. We think there are things out there that we don't understand. And there's a lot of things out there that we don't understand.
The second recent Lizardman sighting includes...
I couldn't tell if he was like saying people want to be scared, like he's saying it's all fake. I couldn't tell if what that guy was saying. Then he said, you know, there's a lot of things to be scared of, but I couldn't tell if he was a skeptic or not. But I'm just giving him my 2 cents on it. This is almost over.
It looks like a man in a rubber suit, but what if Lizardman is real, and this is a disguise to make us think he's fake? In Bishopville, Robert Kittle, News Channel 6.
Bigfoot puts on a Bigfoot costume.
I don't know about the last one. Thank you, Ralph and Cassie. Thank you so much. Oh, I usually do my little banner when something special happens. Do. Thank you. That's my not whatever warning. Breaking news. That is breaking news. So I love the video how they show footprints and all that, but then I couldn't tell if they brought somebody on who's a skeptic or not. But I mean, you know, it is what it is, right?
I think it's amazing that they actually got casted footprints from 1988 from that whole encounter. That makes it so much more revolutionary. And I love that butter beans were involved. That I'm definitely going to buy some butter beans and, you know, leave them out and say, hey, it's for the Lizardman. And I know down in the Everglades, they use lima beans. Dave Shealy uses lima beans to bait in the skunk apes. So something with beans, man, with these large bipeds, these ancient ones. Man, I think it's very interesting. And I think they're on to something. You know, Lee County has the Lizardman, but there is so many stories of these lizard people. And like Brown Dwarf was saying, man, people literally get transformation surgeries that they'll, you know, get spikes in their eyebrow and get their nose cut off so they look like a lizard. And it's pretty far out stuff. So lizard lives matter.
Yeah. Guys, older people, you guys remember in the 80s, 70s, a TV show, The Land of the Lost? The lizard people, I don't know how they make that sound in that movie, but they're all lizards. Hey, maybe they got that folklore story. Maybe they got that idea from folklore stories of the lizard man. I love that. All right, guys, let's go right into some paranormal after I find my intros. We have anybody in the chat that's from Australia? I went to find some haunted places in Australia. I thought, you know what? I'm going to pick Australia for some hauntings. So if anybody in the chat that's from Australia or watching this later, leave in the comments. You're from Australia. You probably know these stories inside out. Because the first haunting is the Monte Cristo Homestead Haunted House. The Monte Cristo. Is this your first time hearing about this one? That's fantastic. If it's not, share what you know about it.
Bump in the night, then the thought of spending the evening in a haunted house would terrify you.
I'm sorry. I just love the way they talk in Australia. Man, if I wasn't married, I would probably go to Australia, find me an Australia girl, because just to have her talk dirty to me in Australia, I'm sorry. I love it. I want them to talk dirty to me. If I'm married, I can't say that. I'm not. But if I wasn't married, I would love to find me an Australian girl to talk dirty to me.
Well, the new Aussie film Muir House is based on actual happenings at the spooky Monte Cristo homestead in New South Wales. So inspired by the movie, we sent intrepid reporter Sean Lynch there to find out what goes on when the lights go out.
Can you imagine her saying, I can't talk Australian. Take your pants off. How are they talking in Australia? Oh, I'm telling you, that's a turn on.
We get people that just come in the front door and lose it and say, I can't stay here, I've got to go out.
We were just here for about a minute and an incident happened.
We have people come in here get severe headaches. As soon as they get in here, can't stay in the house.
I'm not hesitant to be here, but I'm not staying with you guys tonight in the house. No.
I'm here at the Monte Cristo homestead, said to be one of the most haunted houses in all of Australia. There's ghost hauntings, there's even been possessions here, and guess what? Someone died right there on the front step. Kind of creepy. Guess what? Slightly shitting myself. The homestead provides the unsettling backdrop for the horror flick Muir House. And the director Tan Rahim, along with lead actor Ian P.F. McDonald, have been more than a little unnerved by the strange goings-on.
I spent 4 days, or for correction, 4 nights in the house. The thing is, frequently, just as you're dozing off, you'll get woken up, sheets being pulled, pressure on your chest, shaken, pushing through the beds, all sorts of things.
The first night of shooting, we were wrapping up, and I was upstairs turning all the lights off, and I actually saw the ghost of Mr. Crawley standing in the doorway looking at me. And I ran. I ran as fast as I could. I ran down the stairs, I turned off all the lights, and I didn't tell any of the crew until we finished shooting.
That is quality direction.
I had a film to make.
Reg Ryan, who has lovingly restored the property, has lived in the home since the 1960s, and he says that the original owners, Mr. and Mrs. Crawley, have definitely made their presence felt.
The first thing was coming home and see light streaming from every door and window of the house. That was on about the third night we were here, and if anyone can explain that one to me, they're better than I am, because the house had never had electricity on it. We owned one kerosene light and it wasn't even lit.
Brisbane psychic Juliana senses many entities in the house, including a little boy.
He's actually been with me for a few days prior to us coming here, but he keeps saying to me that he's Lad Morris.
Well, there was a family by the name of Morris work here. Mother and father worked, and the son, and he would have been Lad Morris.
And he's very, very specific here about that he was sleeping on a straw mattress, that was actually set on fire.
And he didn't get up for work one morning, and he said he was too sick. The boss thought he was acting, set fire to the straw mattress, and the boy was burnt to death.
Yeah. Mrs. Crawley is literally standing right here. She actually thinks you're a joker. She's a very snappy woman.
Oh, sorry,
she's very snappy, so you'd want to stand up straight.
Okay.
And watch your tone. She's quite particular about the way you address.
Now, admittedly, going in, I was a bit of a skeptic, but after spending the night at the creepy Monte Cristo homestead, I'm a believer.
It's just after 2:30 heading out. I probably shouldn't be heading down to the cellar. It's a bit scary. If you listen closely, you can hear the ghost of the circle.
All right, guys, first of all, the original video of that, I added the age to it. I made the video look a little older. I thought making it look a little older gave it a little spice. So what do you guys think? Right? What do you guys think? You know, I'm telling you guys right now, Discovery Plus, Discovery Channel, you guys need to send me and Connor to Australia to research these places. You want a real investigator? Send the Americans in. Send 2 Americans to Australia. Can you guys imagine? You know, getting an EVP is cool, right? But I want an EVP in Australia. I want to hear an Australian EVP. I think that'll be freaking awesome. I can't talk Australian. Get out. Connor, can you talk Australian?
I'm working on a New York accent right now. I'm playing Harvey Keitel in a movie, so I can't contaminate my voice, you know, with trying Australians. But I can recommend, Eric, you don't have to go all the way down under or over there to get it, you know, just get your recorder and just try to request, you know, try to find like 5 of your favorite Australians that have passed away, you know, try to contact Steve Irwin right there. Just try to contact Steve Irwin and you get his Aussie voice in there. And I think that would be the answer.
I just want to hear somebody tell them to get out. And doing an Australian voice, I think that'd be awesome. Actually, guys, a lot of things in a lot of ways is happening because I got more freedom in the next 3 months to do things. Where every Wednesday, I found a video recorder for me. We're not a video recorder. My daughter is going to take the recorder, and we're going to be going out to some of these places. My daughter is going to film. We're going to do the Mary Island incident out there. We're going to drive out there Wednesday. They were in the next following Wednesdays. We're going to be going out to the mountains up here, the Olympic Mountains, do some Bigfoot hunt. My daughter says she'll run the cameras and all that. She wants to run it. And I think that's perfect for her. You know, she gets to do some filming, some learning, and going out doing some investigations starting Wednesday.
Quality family time too. That will be so awesome, man. I can't wait to see those videos.
I can't wait either. You know, when more things open up, it's just the freedom in a way where, you know, because you know you have to go to work. I go to work in the middle of the night. I come here. You know, things open up. You got to take advantage of it. And I'm going to be taking a lot of advantage, and not just on Wednesday. It's just Wednesday. I don't do a show in the morning, so I have all day to drive and get back for Wednesday night. But, I mean, after the shows on Mondays and Tuesdays, I'll be going out, too. One of the places that I'm planning to try to get an EVP, people, going to try. I want to go visit Jimi Hendrix, right? And where Jimi Hendrix is buried, Bruce Lee is buried there, too. And Brandon Lee. So I'm planning to do investigation where our great hero, Jimi Hendrix, Bruce Lee, and Brandon Lee's at. Beyond that, this next video is in Australia, the Oradell Mental Hospital, World Haunted Buildings, the Oradell Mental Hospital. Here we go.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Haunted Buildings. In this week's episode, we take a look at the Oradell Mental Hospital. Now, the Ararat Lunatic Asylum, also known as the Oradell Mental Hospital, is the largest abandoned mental institution in Australia. Though it is currently the home to the Oradell ghost tours, it was once housed Victoria's growing population of lunatics. The nearby jail ward served as an asylum for the criminally insane, catering to all the inmates of traditional jails or reformatory institutions who had been deemed insane. Now, an estimated 13,000 people died in the Oradell Mental Hospital, which operated for 130 years. That created the potential for a lot of ghosts. There have been reports from those who have visited in the present day of nurses in white uniforms, as well as disembodied crying, moaning and footsteps. 3 prisoners were hanged in the asylum's jail ward. They were buried upright, and their spirits are said to forever be locked inside the complex. Other tales of ghosts are plentiful. A certain nurse Kerry is said to haunt the woman's wing and watching the ghost tour groups from one room in particular. Others reported
Can you guys imagine a show? Discovery Plus put an episode out that they locked me and Connor into that place. My God, I seriously think we would have so much fun in there. No running, no. Oh my God, you got touched. You did? I want to get touched. I'm telling you, it will be electric. telling you, networks, right here, right now, you send us, you will get some entertainment because we want to be touched. And being touched by Australians?
Explain pains and the sense of being touched while touring in the old men's wing surgery. There are mysterious cold winds and banging sounds coming from the walls. And then there is old Margaret. She was one of many patients who was kicked out in the late 1990s when Aradale officially closed. She is now said to haunt the halls because Aradale was the only home that she had ever known.
That makes sense, right? She was basically raised there. That's all she knows. So it makes sense that if she passed away and stuff, that she would still be around there. So some of these hospitals and stuff, people go there as kids and they get tortured and whatever. There's a lot of stories here. I would love to check this place out.
Well, I hope you liked that episode. Please like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to follow the Crow.
Hi guys, Cryptic Crow here.
Man, I want to go there. You know why I like Australians so much? I'll tell you guys something. In high school, I was a junior, and there was a girl who was staying with her cousin. She's from Australia, and she was awesome. We used to take off every morning before school starts and then come back to school. And then we're about to be seniors. We picked almost every single class together. So she was awesome. But then I remember going back to school senior year, first day, like, where is she? And I found her cousin. Apparently, her and her cousin got in a fight. They shipped her back to Australia. Damn. I'm fucking sad you shipped back my friend from Australia. Man, we were reading the Doors book, and we were talking about Jim Morrison, that kind of stuff, and it was just sucks. My Australian people. But no, beyond that, I like to show international sometimes of hauntings all around the world, just to remind people that not just in America there's hauntings. There's hauntings all around the world. There's just deaths everywhere, and every place has its own story, its own history, and its own mystery. I bet you can walk down the block. There's some kind of story about some ghost in your, 2-week radius or even more. Shit, the house you're in now, there might be a history of the land there being paranormal. I'm sure where Connor's at, his area, I bet you there's some folklore haunting stories where he's at.
Oh, yeah. There's Native American villages right along the Chipola River. But the barbershop at the end of the plaza, they have tons of paranormal activity. And I was just telling a customer that just a second ago because his little brother's getting a haircut. And I'm like, oh, you left him in the haunted barbershop. And a lot of people are like, oh, they just do drugs or it's all in their head. I've seen the security footage. Like there's crazy pictures they've captured and crazy like black smoke that swirls around. It's pretty next level. So back at daylight savings time, when it gets dark around 5 o'clock here, at those time of the year, it gets a little spooky, but spooky means fun for me. So I love the later hours of work. I start hearing stuff in the attic. I'm like, yeah, it's either the cryptid rats that's climbing from the swamp or it's just some paranormal activity.
Instead of running away, we run towards it.
Yeah. I try to record it.
I'm telling you, always been that way. I hear little things at night. I never ran. I wanted to know.
Yeah, I want to find a house that I don't want to spend the night in that night. Like that guy, he's like, oh, I'll check it out, but I'm not spending the night. Like I want to feel that. I want to not want to stay in a place before.
I do. Now, of course, if they pick you and I up, threw us against the wall, that might be the time to say, let's get the fuck out. But until they pick us up and throw us and kind of hurt us, we want to talk. We want to experience. Listen, their energy, right? And I really truly believe this. Positive energy will bring you positive results. And I bet you, we guys like us, we won't get harmed because we have such good positive energy. I think it'll match the ghost.
Honestly, I don't walk with too many worries. I feel like my light and everybody's light, as long as you harness your light, Darkness can't do much to it. Like I was just gifted water from the Conjuring house, and it's at my house, and I've made the joke, I'll drink it. And people are like, man, you will have to get an exorcist or a demonologist, you know? And I'm like, I didn't even think that deep into it. Like I don't give it that much power.
You know what? You're so right. When I made my own Ouija board, handmade it for a show, people are like, you shouldn't be doing that. Oh, maybe I should have thought about that sooner. Oh, well, you know, because if you're going to play with it, if you're going to investigate, sometimes, yes, you're playing with evil, you're playing with the devil and stuff. But if you really want to investigate it, sometimes you got to get your hands dirty. I mean, I'm sorry. It is what it is. You better be ready for everything. Like if you go Bigfoot hunting and you're afraid of every little sound, then maybe you shouldn't be going.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta have a little psychoticness in you in this kind of stuff. You do. Let's check out some UFOs. All right, people. We got some UFOs. All right. I agree. Some people was agreeing with us. Know them, boss? 100%. Yeah, Eric, true. You do. You gotta have a not insanity, but you gotta have the mind frame. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. If you're afraid of every little thing, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it. Maybe, just maybe. Now, this story is the April 1964 Socorro, New Mexico UFO encounter with police officer. Guys, when I'm staring over here, because I have it on board, what the video is about. So this is a famous UFO sighting from 1964. And a lot of you are not in the UFOs. Everybody know the Roswells and, of course, all that. But some of these are just as important as the Roswell that, believe it or not, some people don't know these stories. That's why we're here, to show you these stories. Here we go.
There was a police officer, Lonnie Zamora, in Socorro, New Mexico. He was following a speeder. As he was following the speeder, he saw off to his right in the southwest, he saw a brilliant kind of a blue-white flame. It looked like it might be dropping down or descending. He didn't understand it, so he dutifully left the speeder and turned to the southwest up a hill.
When I got up on top of the mesa there, I looked down and I seen this big white object on the ground. I could see some figures.
Lonnie told him that he had seen some small beings that looked like children around the craft.
They were no taller than maybe 2.5, 3 feet tall.
He never wandered more than about 3 feet away from his patrol car when the craft took off. He just could not compute at that moment what this thing was, other than it was raising vertically straight up.
And at that time, nobody knew what a UFO was. That's when they started putting it on the papers.
You guys hear what she said? I love what she said. At that time, nobody knew what a UFO was. And that's what important about some of these stories. It's not like this came out nowadays. Anybody will question every single little thing. But this kind of stories like this is kind of unusual back during that time. Even with the Roswell stuff, it's not like the social media and everybody see news. Everything back in those days were in newspapers. That was your social media. So I just wanted to report, just say that real quick. I like what she said. This was unusual during that time.
The unusual size of the occupants. I knew that the government, nobody else hires midgets to fly ultra-secret Black Project craft.
There were 2 sets of footprints. I saw them with my own eyes. That's about the size of them. It happened right here. And I was here 15 minutes after, and I saw the smoldering, I saw the footprints, and I saw the imprints of the unit.
The behavior of the technology, the way it rose up on this mysterious ground knifing flame, the way it flew off horizontally without a sound, at least so far as Zamora could hear, the way it climbed to beyond supersonic speed, all of these things suggest that it was by no means a 1964 technology, and in fact, there's nothing today that could duplicate that technology. This is the best documented close encounter of the third kind that has ever been.
And real quick, just for the record, I mean, Monster Radio is right when he made the comment. What is really unusual, the 50s were a big thing for UFOs with the worry of Russians and whatnot UFOs. And that's true. I mean, there were War of the Worlds stories and all that. But what I'm getting at more of, a police officer admitting of what he's seeing, that's still, people in uniforms, pilots and stuff. And, when you come out and you make statements, what you saw, you're taking a chance of them thinking, oh, something's wrong with this person. This thing is wacko. A lot of times in the military and police force, if they think you're losing it, you could lose your job. You could get discharged out of the military if they think you start going crazy. Pilots, they don't want a crazy pilot flying in the air with hundreds of people. So I'm not saying they're more realistic than a regular person, but they're taking a little bit more chances than we are to come out with this kind of a story. And that's just my opinion. But these stories are all around us. They're all through generations, and I think that's a pretty good story. I don't know if you ever heard that before, Connor, unless that's not new.
I don't think I have. Maybe just in passing or on some kind of TV show or something. But it was really cool how, he saw it in the air and then was able to follow it and then to find foot tracks. That's amazing. Because sometimes just a sighting in the air, right place, right time, to have the mindset to see it. That's amazing. And to be a police officer, if he just gave us that much, but to see, where it landed and all the other details and like little people, very interesting stuff. Yes. And again, all we can do is just, add it to our sponge and remember it. And during all that, I was just thinking thank you so much, Eric, for just upping the standard. All of us here, we get to hear all these stories, and through a whole week, it piles up, man. Thank you.
Yeah. And now this next story inspired me from Identified SFAR channel. They were talking about the famous fire in the sky and about the famous crew. And I found a video where Tracy Tormey, the main guy who was involved in the fire in the sky, did an interview because he's doing some work on some UFOs and stuff. And I'm going to show you an interview that he's done. But the fire in the sky has always touched me in a lot of different ways because I grew up and that movie was awesome. The story of Fire in the Sky about 5 workers cutting down trees and one gets taken up and not found 4 or 5 days later. It's always intriguing because it's one of those stories that, do they actually have evidence, pictures? No, it's 1975. Not people weren't walking around with cameras and stuff, so it's a lot of belief system kind of a story, but it is so interesting because 5 people took these lie detector tests. One of the 5 was a known criminal in a way that got busted with the law and all that. And 4 passed. 1 was inconclusive. But the one was inconclusive. They had him retake it, not because his was like all lies. He was so nervous because he was busted with the law. He was scared. So there was a lot of inconclusive where it was just all over the place. They couldn't even get a true reading. And when he took it, he passed. Now, this is 1975. 5 people passed a lie detector test. That's not something easy to do. And you got to look at, these were 5 workers. I mean, these are tree cutters. It's not like they trained to pass lie detector tests. And then the conversation came up. A question was, well, Eric, do you believe that this story, like they made up the story 2 months in advance? The thing is, these people, they live check by check. I mean, could they be lying? Yeah, but these people were living check by check. Will they really hurt themselves to the point of losing their houses and all that? Planning something like this too much in advance. Now remember, I said this yesterday on the Identify S4 channel that, you know, one of the first really major event that became a book into a movie was the Amityville Horror. That became a famous book and a movie. That was 1977. So 1975, it wasn't a guarantee that your story is going to guarantee to have a book and a movie later on. And the movie was like in the 90s too. So could they be lying? Yes. But I feel that this story, in my opinion, is more real than fantasy. You know, 4 or 5 days, he did go to the hospital. He was deprived. Did somebody chain him up in real life? I don't know. Maybe the government took him away as experiments with lights. That's possible. But I feel something truly happened. And this interview is the real guy that was supposedly got sucked into the ship. So this is the real guy, Tracy Tormey. Here he is.
I have normal hobbies. I like rock and roll. I like sports. I like baseball and football. I like normal things, the Revolutionary War, things like that. But my UFO interests I have kept sort of hidden to a certain extent. It's not something that I generally will go to a party and start spouting off about because there's such an incredible misunderstanding about it. It has that silly factor to it. So it's not until I really get to know someone and trust someone that I open up about my knowledge of the subject. I did Fire in the Sky. I did Intruders, which was a miniseries for CBS. I worked on Contact, the Carl Sagan movie. I worked on UFO Cover-Up Live, which was a hideous live documentary that ran, 20 years ago now or something. If anybody wants to look, I always tell people, look into it seriously with an open mind. You will be shocked at how much evidence there is. You just won't believe it. And that has been true with me almost across the board when I've turned anyone on to the subject. They all come away shaking their heads and saying, wow, I had never had any idea there was so much evidence out there. So that's one of the sad parts of it too. The subject is still treated as nonsense. Whenever they run a piece on something on the news, they always come on at the end with a little green man comment or something like that, and then they all chuckle at each other. And the great irony is they're so wrong. They are just so dead wrong. The truth is not on their side. The truth is on our side. But we have done a lousy job of explaining it to the world. So the naysayers have gained, I think, over the years. I think they are in a more powerful position now than they were years ago. I never thought I would work on this type of thing again. But then I saw James Fox's film, I Know What I Saw. I was very, very impressed by it. Made a point of meeting him. And we both came to realize that we both really thought there was a place for a feature UFO documentary that really took a strong viewpoint and tried to lay bare the layers of disinformation and misinformation and dishonesty. We both realized that we both had that in mind, that we would really like to do that. We also quickly agreed we did not want to do a TV documentary. We saw that we were all like-minded about it and that we had very high goals for this and wanted this to be the seminal all-time UFO feature. And that's our goal. That's what we're really working really hard to do. And so that was very inspiring to me and it made it easy for me to want to do this.
Now, first of all, guys, the movie Fire in the Sky is on Amazon Prime. So you can watch if you have Prime for free. But let me just make something clear. These movies are never 100% accurate. So movies are made to stretch the truth a little bit, or like the alien ship they show. He even said that the ship never looked like the way it looked like in the movie, and even the aliens look differently than they did in the movie. Movies have to spice things up. But the moral of the story is the basic moral of the story is supposed to be true. So if you see the movie, you might want to read the book and look up him to find the actual story that came directly from him. So if you watch the movie, remember, movies stretch the truth. They have to. They got to sell the movie. But the main premises of the movie is supposedly be true and all that. So I just wanted you guys to see what the real guy looked like. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and all that. And then, God, where is it? Where is it? Beyond that, guys, we are going to go right into weird news that came from me an hour before the show. 1 hour before this show. And I think you guys are going to go, wow. Wow. Here's the answer. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty will know. Scotty has to know. Scotty's gonna know. I'm gonna tell Scotty. Gonna tell myself. Scotty has to know. Scotty has to know. Scotty has to. Scotty has to. Scotty has to go. Scotty doesn't. All right, this is kind of this is going to be, my opinion, a fun one. Okay, give me a second here. Where the hell? Okay, let me save it here. All right, this was sent to me about an hour ago. Maybe Connor knows something about this. I'm not too sure if he knows anything about this. But let's just go here. Let's go to Instagram.
Let's see it.
Hold on a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna try to make this bigger. Did it get bigger? All right. Let me see. Let me make sure it's big enough side. So I think this is Connor driving in his car. And guys, check this shit out. When he sent me this, I'm like, is that Connor driving? Is that his voice? Is that him? Because I didn't know he was sending me something from somebody else. But check this out.
This tree just fell down. Look at that.
It's on fire!
Yeah. We ain't waiting forever, man.
Woo. Guys, check that out. Hold on.
That smells.
Can you?
This tree smells.
Look at the fire, guys.
Guys, notice how I was quiet when it was really like the go time. You know, my mind was thinking. Yeah, we ain't waiting forever, man.
And what I like about Connor's like, I don't want to be fucking stuck here. I'm going before it comes down. I mean, that's live, dude. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty rad. I got to leave work an hour early, and I was going to that filmmaker meeting in Tallahassee. I was linking up with Wake Up Mr. Cole, this local director, and that is about like 5 minutes away from my house. So I was already, I had my eyes on the prize. I needed to get home. And, yeah, that white car, that white truck, like, come on, man. You're supposed to be a tough American man in your truck. Drive through it. But no, I checked it out, and I wish I got the tree falling down, because I saw the tree fall into it too, and that was really rad. And yeah, I was just trying to get some good footage, and I got right up on it. I felt like Bill Paxton in Twister, Bill Harding, I think his character name is. But yeah, it was just super cool, and I can't even put it on TikTok because they'll hit me with the dangerous acts. And I was hoping it would be like my 1 million view video on YouTube, but it's at like 120. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Is it really? They call that a dangerous act?
Yeah, dude. One of my Yeti videos got flagged the other night, and I had to appeal it. And once you get 3 videos taken down, you get like your lives, suspended for a while. So I'm like right on the verge of getting suspended from school, but they keep hitting me with these bans, and I keep winning my appeals. But I'm being smart. I'm not going to even, if I do post that on TikTok, I'm going to say, trained professional, or I am a professional, because I am a professional jackass,
And I just love that, because that was like right there. I mean, it was.
My dad commented on my Facebook post of that, and he said, like, be careful. Great footage though. So my dad, knows good footage. And one of his friends commented and said, "You're just like your dad." So I take that from my dad 100%.
But did you look it up like afterwards to find out did the power go out everywhere? Did
I actually talked to someone today, and they said they live right near there, and their power was out. And I'm like, oh, I think I know why. But yeah, I needed to get past there, and who knows how long it would have took for them to cut the tree down or anything once it actually fell down. But it was crazy. Like, if you look really closely, you could see the flames like going down the tree. Like, the tree was definitely electric. But if it would have fell, you know, it wouldn't have been carrying the electricity. But I was just timing it up because it was like volting, you know, it would be like boom, and then it would be silent for a second, and it would be like boom. So I just went in between the explosions. It was cool though. It was fun.
Wow, North America, Alabama Cryptid. Maybe that is the Mandela effect. Monster Radio. I thought, yeah, he did. I gave him a wrench a long time ago. That's weird that his wrench. I looked it up and his wrench was gone. Wow. That's strange. Wow. He's a member of the channel. Did that somehow took off the wrench? I don't know. That's weird. That is
very,
weird.
Very weird.
That is weird. All right, guys. This is gonna be some Matrix kind of stuff, like a glitch in the Matrix videos. I do have one, maybe Mandela effect that Chasmed podcast sent me. So I don't really have a Matrix intro. I'll do my chess one as the intro. So this is a different kind of an intro. I don't know why I even have this on here, but I do.
Chess.
That's a little AI. I guess that's a little AI. But this was actually emailed me from Chad. He had he wanted my opinion on this. He goes, "Did I find a Mandela effect?" Well, you know, it's hard to know if you found the Mandela effect because some Mandela effects are personal to the person. So whatever is personal to you is an effect for you. What he sent me is ladybugs, right? We all know about ladybugs, but apparently they're not called ladybugs. They're called ladybird. And I was like, huh, they're called ladybird? And here's the second one. You know, so, and then give me a second here. Let me get a second. What did he wrote? Since when are these called ladybirds? Did I fall into Mandela effect? So is it ladybugs or is it ladybirds? I always called them ladybugs. So I'm gonna we're gonna go to Google and we're gonna type that in live right now. What's going on? Is it ladybugs or ladybirds? The family is commonly known as ladybugs in North America and ladybirds in Great Britain and other parts of the English-speaking world. Prefers the name ladybirds, beetles, or lady beetles, as these insects are not classified as true bugs. So it's saying here is, take this with a grain of salt. Take this with a grain of salt. If you're experiencing a Mandela effect, even that stuff will change on you. So basically, it's saying in America, it's commonly more known as ladybugs, but in the rest of the world, they call it ladybirds. First of all, I never knew that. Never knew that. I always call them ladybugs. I always known them as ladybugs, but my friends from the UK says ladybirds over here. Perfect. Ladybirds in the nursery rhyme. Perfect. That's good to know. You know, I known them as ladybugs my whole life. I never even knew Britain called them something different. So that is kind of cool. That's kind of cool. That's kind of like crisscross of a nation. This is so great about having a channel. We got everybody from all around the world. and we could get some information from all around the world. Marie wrote, definitely ladybirds here in the UK. Okay. I never knew ladybirds word existed for ladybugs. I never did. That's cool. Thank you guys for that clarity. And Chad Smith, I'll let him know what you guys have said. I don't see him in the chat. That bum. What is he, sleeping? Get the fuck up. You don't need to be sleeping, Chad Smith. Come on. I'm more important. You should be dreaming about me, baby. All right, guys. Let's check out some glitch videos. This glitch video is Glitch in the Matrix on Live Shaq, frozen during NBA TNT. So apparently there's a TNT show and Shaq was frozen. Let's see.
EJ's Neato stat of the night.
Presented by no one.
What's that?
That sounds, that could only be the musical stylings of Victor Oladipo, who is the reigning two-time champion of the All-Star Weekend player
weird
talent show.
You are talented. I give you a little credit on that. A lot of credit. You're very talented. I mean,
as you can
I think it's MK Ultra.
Yeah, it could be ultra. These are always fun to look at. I mean,
you're not a karaoke guy like me, but you can ask. You know they call me O'Brown Eyes, right?
As a matter of fact, you both have experience singing New York, New York. His was at the Slam Dunk Contest. Yours was in Vegas.
Yes.
We had the show out there. Here's just a little sampling.
I don't think naturally anybody could stay that still.
In old New York.
What's that?
I don't think naturally anybody could stay that still.
I know. It is weird to look at. I mean, just, and then I think at the end, did he move at the end? Oh, hold on. Look like he moved there. Let me press play.
Yeah.
The long-awaited duet, Victor Oladipo, Charles Barkley, New York, New York.
Hey, yo, let me lead, bro. Let me lead.
But before that, that's kind of fun. That's kind of neat. What do you guys think? Is it real? Is it fake? Is it the Matrix? Is it AI? Is it a hint for us? I thought it was kind of cool.
I think he's glitching out. His handlers are in the back room, trying to regain the connection. I don't know if you saw the video I sent you, but Shaquille O'Neal talked about a UFO sighting that he had. I tagged you it on TikTok probably 4 or 5 days ago now. But they say that he might have been abducted by aliens during that encounter that he had. So maybe it's some kind of alien technology going sideways inside his head. But it's pretty wild. But there are so many videos of people just freezing and spazzing out. I definitely think it's connected to mind control, MK Ultra, of course, all the LSD testing that they were doing to all these celebrity parents long ago.
That might have to be a video for tomorrow. Ooh. Now, this was only 11 seconds. You're going to see a glitch that happens to a car. This is 11 seconds. One more time. It's like 11 seconds. Whoa. Is that a glitch? Is something, or was not a glitch? Was that a ghost that slams down? Or or was Mothman invisible? Smacked the car and took off? It doesn't have to be a glitch. That could be an invisible cryptid, a visible UFO crashing real quick and taking off.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck it was, man. It could have been something, being dropped down. Don't they say if you go on a roller coaster high enough, you drop a penny down, boom, So maybe it was a penny dropped from the top of the dome, 73 miles up. Or maybe it was just a faulty car and boom, decapitate us all. We'll just be driving home to the market and boom, inner explosion. There goes ourselves.
On the ground, right in the back. Okay, let's take a look. Everybody look at the wheels. Look at the wheels on this one. Let's go back. Oh, okay. The car is about to get hit. It is off the ground in the back. He's good catch. Good catch. I love that.
So weird. It looks like it's hovering.
know, doesn't it? Good catch. That's a good eye, Jordan. I'm serious. I mean, Joshua. Good job, Joshua. This last glitch video is called ABC News anchor Weird Eyes Glitch. So this AB News guy is going to be talking about, look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. I promise you, he's not wearing sunglasses. Keep watching.
Oh, there's back to the beginning of the show, guys. The Lizardman, the reptilian, the shapeshifter, the global elite, half of the population of Las Vegas and Los Angeles.
Did you guys see how the color changed out of his eye? So now you guys know what he's doing. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Okay, let me go back here. Now his eyes are about the same color. Now watch his eyes again. He starts blinking a lot. Start blinking, and is it right here? Right there. It looks odd. His whole color eyes black.
The whole shape changes, you know?
Yeah.
It goes like bug eye. And even his mouth kind of reacts to it too.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
And yes, Danny, all of San Francisco. Rest in peace, Danny Tanner.
That's a good one, yeah. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I just wanted to show something a little different today, a little glitching. Look at that. That is weird. That is odd. That if you look right there, that is so odd looking. Think just a little color changes a whole look of a face. A little darker, a little blacker.
It's like how a lizard or like an alligator can put that shield over his eye to protect it. Kind of like some fish as well. So, pretty interesting.
That is so cool. So, people in the chat, remember, I send invites all the time. If somebody wants to sit in on looking at one of these videos and stuff, send me an email. Let me know in advance. I'll put you on. We'd let one guy on, and he had to take off. I mean, get him on. Because I thought about it. I'm not going to go with any phones, because when you start adding phones, the show takes a lot longer. And this show is not meant to be a long show. This show is meant to be around the hour mark. So, but if you do want to come on, just send me an email. And if there's a cryptid creature you kind of want me to tackle, kind of like I've been doing this week, the Lizardman, the Bunny Man, have its own cryptid to be the main kind of a cryptid in the show. And somebody asked me, Eric, what is the hardest part about doing this kind of show? And I'll be honest, one of the hardest part is actually the title. It really is. What title attracts more people? Is it the Lizardman? Is it the UFO Mexico? Is it the Monte Cristo? I actually struggle in that part, thinking, because you only got 100 words you can put something in. You can't just put every little bit of the clip you want to show in it, so you got to pick like one of the stories. And to me, that's always the hardest part. Like, what is the bigger story? What would attract more people? Is it the Lizardman? Is it the UFO story? So that is the hardest part for me.
It's Dogman and Joe Rogan. Both those titles, boom, algorithm bonus, baby. But yeah, Dogman and Joe Rogan, honestly, you've seen it in the past videos. Those numbers jump up 100%. But I think you hit this one right on the nail, man. The Lizardman Escape or Swamp, it's one of the coolest stories on the eastern side of America, man. So I can't wait to see what's next, because there are so many strange cryptid creatures out there.
There is. And I never tell people what's the next one. And I do want to thank Anthony. He inspired with the conversation yesterday on Tracy Torm. And Anthony, if you just came in, I found an interview that Tracy Torm did discussed in this videotape. I just want to show you guys, we get inspired by different shows, different channels. There's certain things like, wow, I like that. I want to find something more on that. And that's what's great about YouTubes and stuff, finding the different channels. There's stuff that, Connor has so many videos. I love his 30-second videos, 1-minute videos. And there's so many things that can inspire you to add certain things to a show. And that's what keeps me going and all that. And guys, I will be back tomorrow and probably be back to the normal time. Today was one of those days that I had to pick up kids, early outs. Summer's ready. They're out. So I can't wait to go do some investigations next week. And Tippa TV is back. It's good to see them some chats. I love it. They're great. I love having Tippa TV on here. I love it being on their channel. Great group. And I was sad that I wasn't seeing them for a while. I'm like, where's my friends?
I think they were out on a really long Randonautica trip. They were just following the app. It took them to the depths, the farthest pillars of the earth. And now they're back to tell us about their story. So I'm super excited too.
Connor, it's like that Cinderella song that sings Jesse Rowe. Don't know what you got until it's gone. You don't realize how much you like something when they're not there. Like, I kind of miss this.
For sure. And I hope everybody appreciates us while we're here, because one day we're going to be gone too. There's going to be a road closed sign on the Gypsy Highway, and Connor's going to be dust and ashes one day. So I'm glad you guys are here currently, but definitely remember us.
Just hopefully not tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully not tomorrow. But hey, Kevin Costner in Yellowstone, he said it. Once things start happening, man, you don't start thinking about tomorrow. It's today. Today's what matters, Yep. Cherish, lift us all up, inspire everybody. And that's all we got is today, man.
So, guys, if you haven't already, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed to Bigfoot Anon, subscribe to him. I know most of you have, but if there are new people, and you guys watch channels, please leave a thumbs up. They say it helps the channel out. And leave comments, a simple comment. Say you like it or don't like it. Or if you have an opinion of what tomorrow's one of the videos, you can leave it in the comment. I'd rather you email it because, but you guys do know I do read my comments. I always put the heart. I always try to do a reply. I do the best I can to respond back to everybody. And I have brought back movie reviews on this channel, but I do it on there the short video, very fast, 30-second, 40-second video. And let me show you an example. Hold on, I did one yesterday. Let me bring it up. Give me 1 second, and then we'll end the show. Give me a second.
I just want to mention that I posted a really cool video on my TikTok yesterday of this white and black Sasquatch. They're fighting, and then this giant Sasquatch that's about twice as big as them comes and breaks up the fight. So the video has 3 Sasquatches, and it's recorded through a mirror through the window, and that's how they've gotten a lot of their footage. So guys, use mirrors. It's awesome.
So I'm doing now short minutes reviews.
Eric, your eye looks like the reptilian eye. Guys, I think we got him.
It does. I love that.
Black Phone. It's fucking great. It has like little Days Confused in the beginning. It's got some James Gunn music style. It's got It. It's got Silence of the Lamb. Paranormal. Has Ghost. If there's one movie you're gonna see in the summer, I'm telling you right now, this is the movie. Ethan Hawke, fantastic. The kids, fantastic. The twist story is great. It's so freaking good. Makes me want to dance.
No, you guys didn't think I was going to dance, did you? Trust me, I want subscribers. I don't want you guys all like, fuck this guy. This guy is crazy. He's trying to dance. Get rid of him. But beyond that, guys, have a great day. Have a great time. And guys, remember one last thing. We all need to take that journey. We all need to get in that vehicle. However you want to do your research, walk, watch videos, whatever you want to do. We all need to take that journey. Make sure in that journey, get on that car. Make sure we take the paranormal highway.